The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now a first down throw, Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-six TD. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick-six.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Watson. Throw left side complete. It's Fuller. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season opener opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
On 1st and 10, Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
Richmond. Target.
Watson on 3rd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways.
That's caught inside the 20. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. Wentz able to hook up with Aguilar for a big gain. 49 yards. The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. From the gun, it's Wentz. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
On second down, here's Miller. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Jordan Hicks in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is fielded at the 27. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. A first update now from Cleveland. And it's the Browns out to the early advantage. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Buying time to his left. Now he's going to let it go. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Eagles add on to their lead. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Now you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender. But you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
Throwing again is Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. Watson looks to throw again. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To the air yet again, Watson escaping the pressure right. Oh, nearly picked. Almost intercepted. but he couldn't hang on, and it's third down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 19. This is Miller, and he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play.
Richmond.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Dumps it complete to Miller. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Come back.
Out of the gun, Watson. And it's caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll let the power game take over with Crotch. Power on power, but he's not going to get in. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Partner, when it's a goal-to-go situation, if you're on the field on defense, you have to...
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Texans cut into that lead. And he puts it through. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. Throwing on first is Wentz. He sets to fire deep. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for. Now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Watson, throwing again. Completion left side to Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. They go play action here on 1st down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to let it go again. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. Well, he's been the guy, already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Come on now. Run. 82.
Now Wentz on third down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think...
And look at this. It's a fake. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh boy, you wish you hadn't.
And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a first carry for Deontay Foreman, who was lost to the Achilles injury last year. And he'll go down at the 28. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Richmond.
Watson on first down. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard here.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Derek Barnett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. From the gun, here's Watson. Hopkins, strong running. That is caught at the 7. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans draw a bit closer. And his kick is right through. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Wentz now on first down. Steps away to his left. And complete to Zach Ertz. 1:57 to go in this first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. Now Wentz throwing on second down. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face. Not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Ram. 81. Two jet. Hey, stat. 82.
To throw is Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
After the interception, here's Watson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. Flush to his right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Watson just beating the play clock. He's going to fire one deep, middle of, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jalen Mills, and a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Lion.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Flushed out right. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is because you got to get his attention because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Wentz now on first down. He finds Aguilar over the middle. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Now Wentz again. And he's got it. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. Again, it's Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. That'll bring up second down. They'll go again from the 3 here on second and goal.
81.
Wentz to throw again. Got a man open. It's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Elliott now to kick this one away. Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. Dances by him. Then he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
The ball comes out, and this one will actually go out of bounds, so no recovery. And that is how we conclude this first half. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. This will be fielded at the 6. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
On first down, it's Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. A first down carry now for Miller. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Watson now on second down, eluding the pressure right. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
The Texans on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Watson. Found his target, it's Anderson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. To throw is Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Operating from the gun, Watson. Hauled in by Anderson, left side. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Here's Shane Leckler now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. He'll field this at the 5. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Great 15, great 15.
Now Wentz. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing is Wentz. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 11.
Richmond.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. Brings it just past the 15, able to avoid the initial contact, but not much more there on the play. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, here's Watson underneath for Miller. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Dancing to his left. Left side, Hopkins. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Come on now, come on now, let's go. Great 15, great 15, let's go.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
On play action, Wentz rolling to his right. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And a kick by Elliott is good. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is. But how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. And here comes the Texans now. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Come back, come back.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. To the right side, complete to Miller. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. To throw on 2nd is Watson. On the right side, this is Miller. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Watson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Reset. Target.
From the gun, here's Watson. And an alley to run. And he'll get it down here to the 43. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 37, and he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 45. They begin the drive with Pumphrey, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Forced out to his left. Now he'll throw deep. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Eagles add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Boy, and now they can't even get a playoff. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Watson, it's caught. Michael Pruitt. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 13 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get-off on the snap, jump too quickly.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80!
After the penalty, it's Miller. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Target. Reset. Come back.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. Flush to his right. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Eagles defense able to hold. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. A handoff to start out the drive. It's Pumphrey. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
They'll run here with Pumphrey. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Come on now. Let's go.
Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Philadelphia, they continue to rack up the victories as this one moves them to 13-2 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they lose their 9th game on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.